Hi, and welcome to a Reheated Cup with Laurie. Today I just have my silly little Papillon Redford hanging over my shoulder. And actually, now he's leaving, so it's just me. And I wanted to talk about a topic today that is something that I've covered, as a working mom from a completely different perspective, but now want to talk a little bit about it as a stay-at-home mom. So, and I'm not really sure the best way to explain it or describe it with a word without it coming across like really serious and harsh. But I kind of want to talk a little bit about sexism. And an encounter I had today just kind of sent me a little bit fuming, but also made me think a little bit about the whole at-home mom, stay-at-home mom perspective, and how certain men and sometimes women treat moms and stay-at-home moms, and even stay-at-home dads for that matter. So, I had an encounter today with the landscaper next door again, right? These freaking landscapers. Hopefully today is their last day, but they were blocking my driveway, which is like a huge ass trailer. I mean, like a huge trailer, like semi-truck long. And yes, I could fit, but I wasn't really sure I could fit. And he was on the driveway, so I rolled my window down and said, "Hey, just so you know, your truck is, blocking my driveway. Any chance you could move it?" And he, first of all, asked me very rudely, what house I was in. I said, "The one you're standing right next to," because this guy hadn't seen him, actually, this whole project. This is the first day I've seen him, and it's been about 5 weeks. And then he proceeded to tell me that I was just being difficult. Okay, so there's lots of things wrong with that because obviously being difficult when trying to get into my own driveway. I had a baby in my car who needed to go down for a nap. I wasn't really rude. I just rolled the window down and said, "Hey, any chance you can move this truck? It's blocking my driveway." And I hadn't even interacted with him. So it's not like he's been part of this whole saga that's been going on next door. This is his first day over there. But it got me thinking, and one of my friends commented, if it was Jake, he would have never said that. And honestly, I wholeheartedly believe she's right. That's true. If I was my husband, he would have never spoken to me that way. And he made me feel like, "Oh, you stupid housewife, like, stop trying to be difficult." What? Like, trying to be difficult because I ask you to move something from in front of my property so I can get into my house. Yeah, I'm being difficult. So, ironically, I actually just reshared a blog post I wrote about people calling my daughter bossy. So if you have a chance, I'm going to put it in the description. Go back and read it because that was my perspective of being a woman and being assertive and kind of just like the response in general that women, not just stay-at-home moms, but that women get when they try to assert any kind of power. I mean, and in this example, I wasn't even really trying to assert power except for home ownership and my driveway. I wanted to get into my driveway. But it just had me thinking. And so I kind of wanted to cover it. I don't want to go too in depth because, we're already a little over 3 minutes and this isn't just really the type of format for that. But I do want to get the conversation started. So I will probably blog about this at some point. It's a little bit deeper, so I can't really promise a time for that. But definitely go back and look at what I wrote before. And I would love to hear from you guys. Like, how do you feel about that? Guys and girls, men and women. What do you feel about assertiveness and not necessarily bossiness, but that whole sexism and that whole opinion too of like, "Oh, you silly housewife, like, don't bother me, like, oh, you're just trying to make trouble." Like this whole just perception and opinion of women and mothers even. And part of it too is, I mean, they know nothing except for what they're seeing. They see my nice, SUV, my nice home, and me pulling in around 9:30 in the morning, and they're going to assume I'm not working. Well, what they don't know is, first of all, I work 24/7 because that's what parents do and moms, especially when you have a baby and you're nursing. Yes, still nursing. She's 9 months old, and we're going strong. But I also am trying to build a consulting business, and so I'm constantly writing proposals and pitching all that. I do photography, and I do this. I do my blog and my influencer page, but they don't know any of that. And even when I was an executive, this is how men and sometimes women would interact with me and treat me when I would come in sure of myself and assertive and knowing what A is my right and B what I want, or if I had in the workplace had an opinion or a perspective or experience even that I knew was valuable and the direction we should go in. A lot of times it was met with this type of opposition. And not only that, my mentor in leadership would even say, well, sometimes people think that you can come in and be a little bit strong-minded and strong-headed, and, you need to work on that. And to an extent, I understand it. But then my other question is why? So why is it that a young female in a leadership position can't sit in a room with people who are well below her? And I'm not saying I treated them like they were well below me, but well below me on the employee chain of command. And why is it that I have to tame down my excitement, my passion, and my assertiveness and my knowledge that got me to where I am so that they like me? But yet our COO was a complete when he would come into a room in like kind of a casual, haha, funny way, but he was a complete a-hole. And nobody told him he needed to be less bossy and less assertive. We also had a younger male in a leadership role lower than mine, but a leadership role who would come in and say and do the same thing. And he never got that type of feedback. And truly, I believe it has a lot to do, if not 100% to do, with the fact that I'm a woman, that I'm young, and at the time I was a blonde. I wasn't a blonde/pastel pink or whatever I am. And I always thought that was, just something that I saw in the workplace because of my gender and my age. I was in my late 20s, early 30s at that time. But now that I'm not in an office, I'm seeing it in a completely different way, and I'm interacting in a completely different way from that spectrum as a stay-at-home mom or as a working from home mom or whatever people perceive me as. And the response and the interaction I'm getting is not any different, and it kind of sucks. Like it really does. I mean, I don't think it's going to change, but it just sucks. It is what it is. But anyways, I know that was a little intense of a topic, and I will probably talk about it again at some point. Like I said, I would like to do another blog, maybe a follow-up blog to the one I did before. But I am going to go ahead and put that original blog post, Don't Call My Daughter Bossy, I think is what it was called, the link in the description of this video. But thanks for tuning in, and if you haven't already, subscribe. That way you get notifications when I do this kind of thing or my product tests. I did a FabFitFun, one of the little face cleanser product demo yesterday. So check it out if you haven't. I'll also put the link to that in my description as well. But anyways, I hope you all have a fabulous rest of your day. Enjoy your Thursday, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.